And the story goes that this Idaho missionary said that those are my parents, and I've been called by God to come and find you. And the story continues that they spoke into the night with that man, and that this man ultimately was this Idaho missionary's long-lost brother who had lived a life of ill repute, 15, 18 years ago prior, and was lost to the family. Family didn't know where he was, and that this miraculous story brought this Idaho missionary to his brother and found him. And when Elder Holland tells this story, and it's printed in the church news, that he says specifically, the Lord, through the Holy Ghost, inspired one of his apostle brethren to assign this Idaho boy to California. The Lord, through the Holy Ghost, inspired the mission president to assign this boy to this area. The Lord, through the Holy Ghost, inspired this young man to go walk down that street that day when his brother would be outside. And then all of this was by divine design. All of this was, divinely orchestrated. I remember hearing that story because I think the church news published it on a Saturday, and then the next Sunday, it was at the beginning of the month, the next Sunday was fast and testimony. My bishop stood up and bore testimony of this story, and he's, weeping about it. And for me, as I'm sitting there in the pews, and I'm kind of at the height of my frustration of what I'm learning about the church and my faith crisis, I remember leaning over to my wife and saying, I don't think that story's true. So I'm bothered why everybody else around me is crying over this story and feeling the Spirit over this story, but I'm not. I'm feeling that it's not true. And then there was a letter that came out from the desk of Elder Holland rescinding this story and basically saying, this story is not true.